What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 3 things that college coaches look for in quarterbacks. So these 3 things are the specific things that all coaches want in their quarterbacks, all the traits that they're going to be looking for, and this is something that you guys can take home to take you to that next level. So I hope this gives you guys some value, fellas, gives you some ins and outs of what coaches are looking for in quarterbacks and how you guys can structure your game. Now, one of the main things that college coaches are looking for is a quarterback who's smart. He has a high football IQ. So if you want to be what that means is you got to be able to read defenses, break down defenses, know what the defense is going to do before they do it, especially if maybe you're not that 6'4", past the quote-unquote eye test guy. Now, if you guys want to get better at reading coverages, check out that very first link in the description, fellas. We have over 300 videos on our website, all based around reading coverages. So, for example, you see right here, this is our Cover 4 playlist. We have playlists for every single defense: Cover 4, Cover 3, Cover 2, man coverage concepts, advanced coverages. We have RPO concepts, as you can see here. Everything you need to know above the neck about the quarterback position, how to read defenses, and how to break them down. Over 3 hours of content, fellas. So check out that very first link in the description. Hope we get you guys on that soon. Let's get started with this video. So first things first, I want to talk about is the mechanics, right? So and that's going to tie into the second tip that we're talking about as well. So mechanics behind the quarterback position is constantly evolving. That's something that's constantly changing. So let's take a look at this throw here from Aaron Rodgers, and you see how clean they call this is stroke, right? So the stroke is when you take the ball back, how you're able to get that ball from that L up to that 90-degree angle, your hip drive, your foot strike, all that good stuff. So the key things that coaches are looking for is, can guys get to this spot right here? This is the key spot. This is the money-making spot that you see all the elite quarterbacks in today's game have. And every college coach wants to find that, okay, can he throw the ball? Can he spin this thing? Does he have good mechanics? Does he take the ball back well? And it's not that everybody needs to throw this way. Aaron Rodgers has probably the best motion in the game. It's the key things that you can take away from his motion that can translate over to your game, right? So the main thing that I think about upper half is this front hand's got to stay tight. You don't see a lot of elite guys, right? A lot of elite guys in the NFL, they don't swing their front elbow down. They don't swing this elbow down to their hip for power. They don't lean out of the throw with their head, and they don't swing their front shoulder to where their front shoulder is pointing behind them when they throw. They all get to this release point. Square shoulders, square hips, and what I mean by that is you should be able to draw a square if you're drawing on the screen with his shoulders and combine that with his hips, because that keeps a consistent release point that allows you to have more pop on the ball, more power, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but also be more consistent because your body is split down a midline, right? And this helps, and this translates to on the run throws, off platform throws where you're maybe having to move around, then get your feet set, everything on the field, this all translates. So if you take this front elbow right here and you were to swing down to your hip, what do you think that would do to your arm? Your release would get pushed up that way. It would get pushed up because almost like a teeter-totter, right? And then you would be real inconsistent. You'd be missing high and low because you'd be coming down like a pitcher. Now, let's say when we went to throw right here, we didn't really necessarily rotate with my hips and your front shoulder swung this way. So it swung open to bring the arm through. What do you think that would do to your release? Your release would be sidearm. You'd be throwing this thing where your wrist comes under the ball. That's why the nose of the ball kind of tilts upward for some guys, and that's how we would miss more left to right. So getting to this consistent release point right here is what coaches are looking for mechanically from guys. Now, what they're also looking for is, can you rotate with your hips and are you transferring your weight? Because if you don't do anything with your lower half, you see how much Aaron Rodgers' front hip is coming open. That front hip is rotating so much, almost to where his belly button is towards the target. If you guys don't have this clean hip stroke and you're not transferring weight to your front leg, throwing with your legs and your hips, you're not going to be able to play at that next level, right? If you just solely rely on your arm, that's not going to last because, again, especially being in college and especially after college, you guys are throwing every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, right? And your arm will not be able to take that. You won't be able to throw that much. You won't be able to throw at the velocity that college coaches need you to throw with. You won't be able to make those throws on the field that are required to throw with your legs, get your hips involved, and be able to produce torque. So getting to this spot also helps with torque because when you guys rotate your hips and you keep your front hand tight to your frame, there's a lot of snap and there's a lot of pop to that ball. So the number one thing coaches are looking for besides football IQ is mechanics. They're always looking for mechanics. They're always looking for guys who have that clean motion because that's what makes him stand out. They're like, okay, he can throw the ball. He's a pure thrower of the football. Now does he check off the other boxes? And that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's watch the thing full speed one more time. Great job with his hips and rotating through. So now this is another thing that guys are looking for. Can quarterbacks extend the play? Now, extending the play does not mean, especially from a quarterback perspective, perspective is getting out of the pocket and just taking off and being able to run. And this does not mean that you have to be a dual threat guy. There's nothing that says you must be a dual threat. In today's world, it certainly helps, but there's plenty of pocket passes, there's plenty of guys that just stay in the pocket. But quarterback, it's a different athlete, right? In my opinion, I would consider for the quarterback position, like a guy like Drew Brees, a guy like maybe Tom Brady even, right? Peyton Manning, for what they were asked to do, they're probably some of the best athletes at what they were asked to do, right? If you ask them to go run a 40, they're not going to be the best athlete, not even close. But you ask them to move around in the pocket, extend the play, they're great athletes at what they're asked to do, right? So that's what I kind of want to, the point I want to get across for quarterbacks is you got to be good at creating space, operating in that like phone booth, if you will, which is what the pocket is, and being able to buy some time for yourself. So this is a perfect example, and the game is constantly evolving to these off-platform throws. So that's the second thing that coaches are looking for, that extend playability and being able to make off-platform throws to where I'm getting out of the pocket. And Mayfield, we call this a hook replace, where you hook with your front leg, you replace your front leg with your back foot, and you're ready to get this ball out in 2 steps with your momentum going towards the sideline. You see how he takes that kind of like pop step right there where his front foot comes out of the grass. But again, look at his mechanics. Arm stays tight, rotating through with that front hip, much like what we were talking about with Rodgers. This is the exact position Rodgers was getting to. Now we're doing the same thing, but we're off platform. So you cannot have number 2 without number 1. You got to be able to buy some time and have that clean mechanical motion, that mechanical stroke, if you will, to be able to get this ball out and be able to get some power behind this throw. So that's what guys are looking for. Can he throw the ball well? And again, this is besides the football IQ side of things. Because if you don't have that, there's only so much pure athleticism or pure size or pure arm strength that you can get away with. You got to be able to bring these other things to the table if you want to get to that next level, right? Especially, again, being a shorter guy. Because trust me, I was one. I'm not a very tall dude, 5'10" on a good day. And the only way I was able to succeed was by doing these little things, having good mechanics, being able to extend the play, knowing what that defense is going to, trust me, if you're a shorter guy, knowing what that defense is going to do is so beneficial because you can kind of structure yourself back there. You got to play in the pocket differently. You got to buy some time, like right off the snap sometimes, just to get to some throwing lanes, just to find a window or just be able to get the ball out on time. So you knowing what the defense is going to do, you knowing and you studying and preparing over and over and over again throughout the week, that makes life so much easier. And then when you got to extend the play, you're just out there playing, right? And that's what should come natural to a lot of guys, especially the shorter guys, right? But again, even if you're a bigger guy, even if you're a taller guy, you got to be able to do these things because that's what they're looking for at that next level. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Perfect example of buying a little bit of time, getting out of the pocket, flipping my feet, and then making this throw. And extending the play can mean like even just like you're doing a drift backwards in the pocket. You're drifting back like maybe twice, like taking a shuffle up. Feet aren't exactly set to a throw, and you're still able to extend it and get the ball to your playmakers. That's what they're looking for. So now, last but not least, this kind of ties into reading coverages, right? But being able to stand in the pocket and go through progressions and be able to get the ball out of your hands fast. So this, like I said, ties into being able to have a high football IQ, because this does not come without being able to read coverages and understand defenses. Because if you're back there and you don't know what you're looking for and you don't know how to tie your eyes to your feet and being able to go through progressions, you're not going to be successful, right? So what I mean by that is like wherever your eyes go, your feet follow. So you're always in that position ready to make a throw, and this ball carriage is just ready to rock, right? So no quarterback at that next level goes through progressions and raises the ball up to their ear. I want you to watch how Josh Allen throws this thing. He's going from left to right. So he's working left, all the way back to right. Does the ball ever change? The ball never changes from where he's holding it. He's got a quick trigger. That's what I like to call that. That's what you need to be at that next level. You got to be able to stand back there, sit in the pocket, go through progressions, and be able to have this strong base in the pocket to where you can move on from progression to progression so you don't have to load up to throw. So many quarterbacks kill themselves because, one, they don't know where they're looking with the ball. So when they see an open defender, they got to load up and then they throw. And then that throwing window closes down. From high school to college, fellas, that speed is so much different. Everybody at the college level, especially at a high level, was the fastest, best guy on their team. So those windows get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you hear people talk about that, but quarterbacks need to elevate as well. We cannot be in a position where my base is super narrow, I'm standing super tall, and then I got to dip down to get this position. I want to be preloaded. I want to be ready to rock. I want to have this ball just ready to go right out of my hands so I can move on from read to read and be able to do it fastly, quickly, and get this thing out of my hands in the least amount of time possible. It's a great job, great example by Josh Allen, keeping a good base, no load up, not loading up with the ball and bringing the ball up to his ear. He has that ball ready to go the entire time. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Allen going through progressions here, staying compact in the pocket, and then being able to get the ball out of his hands and going through reads because he has that high football IQ like we mentioned before. for. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And again, fellas, over 300 plus videos, all based on how to read defenses, all organized into specific categories, over 3 hours of content based around how you can improve your football IQ. Check out that very first link in the description, fellas. Any one of the membership plans we have will give you access to all these videos. I'll see you guys next time.